Hello, everyone, and welcome to the American Horror Story podcast from ASOTV things and stuff. Season 3, episode 13, the season finale of Coven. I'm your host, Dom, still wishing that Madison was my supreme. And with me, we have my two co-hosts, the very wrong Michael Corman.
Hi.
Hi.
Get my last name wrong on purpose.
See,
I wanted to do the intro to this episode so I could say, admit I was wrong, and then introduce those two and
so wrong that
say,
your last name is wrong.
introduce the other two and say, have at me.
And then we have Miss Omikins Chorman.
Dom, the bitch, not her. Getting my name wrong on her.
It was on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware it was.
Because you're wrong. That's how wrong you. That's how wrong you are. Is your last name is wrong.
So wrong.
Why?
So the ending had a twist, and I picked the wrong twist.
Why are you wrong, Mike?
I stated that Cordelia could not possibly be the Supreme because the previous episodes established that it must be a teenage girl who comes into the power. And apparently the twist ending was that it didn't have to be a teenager. I went to the extreme and expected the twist to be that the whole season was really Cordelia's hell and that all of the shit, because a lot of shit got piled at this poor woman through this whole season. You can't deny that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
She brought it upon herself.
Yeah, she did, but it was a sound theory. I was wrong, I admit. Can I go out there and slap the hell out of my wife?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but if you now kind of go back and remember early parts of the season, and people had, I know the girls had asked if, right when they got there, if Cordelia was the Supreme. And she was like, no, I couldn't possibly ever be the Supreme. Like, they were kind of setting it up.
Too.
They were kind of setting it up, very early that she'd always doubted herself and she always was unsure about herself and her power.
Yeah.
So... yeah, it's something that they were setting up right at the very beginning. But I don't think I called it on the podcast, but I definitely know I was talking to Mike between episodes, and I pointed out the facts that Stevie Nicks had a song called "The Seven Wonders," and I said I wouldn't be surprised if she either opened or closed the episode with it, and. Sure enough, the episode opened to it. What did you guys think of that little music video montage?
It was cool. I thought it was really cool.
First thing I said was, "Oh, Dom called that shit." Like 5 seconds into it, I was like, "Yep, he called it." And there you go.
Mm-hmm.
It made too much sense though, because she was credited with 2 episodes and she was only in 1 so far.
Right.
It fit so nicely.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if they planned the whole 7 wonders around her and the song, or if it was just a happy coincidence.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe it was a happy coincidence. They realized, you know what? We came up with this whole thing, 7 wonders, and we're making... I don't know if it was a happy coincidence or planned. It seems too much like a happy coincidence. One of our witch characters is obsessed with, Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks, and we're calling the trials the 7 wonders, and guess what? Stevie Nicks, they do a song called 7 Wonders.
Right.
It might have been planned later on after they made some of the story and they're like, this would be an amazing thing. Let's call Stevie and see if she's up for this.
Yeah.
And if they put 2... If it was a coincidence, the writer who first put 2 and 2 together was probably like...
I don't know, but the way I envision it going down is... they don't really even know. They have Stevie Nicks there for just the purposes of their story. And I could see Stevie being like, I have a song called The 7 Wonders. And everybody's like, oh?
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's how I see it going down. But who knows? Who knows how it really happened?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so we get to finally see the 7 wonders after 13 long episodes of waiting. We get to see them in action, the trials and whatever, and we get to see one by one how each of the girls were eliminated from the trials. Where did you expect the girls to fail?
Honestly, it was a toss-up for me. I had a lot of them failing at pyrokinesis, because pretty sure only Madison and... Didn't Nan set something on fire?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those are the only two that showed it at all. So I expected the rest, a bunch of them that. I didn't, That's a tough one for me. I really don't know where I expected them to fail.
I knew something was going to go wrong at Hell.
Yeah, one of them was going to screw up there. I knew it wasn't going to be Queenie because she did it before.
Right. It would have been ironic if Queenie couldn't get out the second time, though.
Yeah, that would have been. That would have been like a major kick in the ass.
When they were mentioning that, I said, "What if it's harder to come back after going to Hell multiple times?"
Mm-hmm.
Queenie would be at a disadvantage, but she was the first one back, so I guess it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because it was no surprise to her. She already saw her Hell.
Right.
Yeah.
She already, and nothing changed. She went down, same place, same exact people waiting in line for the same shitty chicken. So, yeah. So it was no surprise. She was perfectly able to deal with it, came right back like, oh, that sucked.
Yeah. What did you guys think of Misty's little personal hell?
It made sense. I mean, it's torturous enough to be in a situation like that with kids that are judgmental and critical. And for her to be a freak, as they say, and bring the frog back, and she already loves animals, so to, off a toad or frog so many times, it would be horrible for her. And have all the kids laughing. Mm-hmm. Kids are mean. Kids are mean.
It was a amalgamation, I guess, of everything that ever tortured her. Having to take the life of an animal, and being tortured by all of, school children and stuff, and being called a freak and all that kind of junk.
Yeah.
Just, it fit. And I kind of felt bad for her, and, she got stuck.
Yeah. But I kind of figured that she would be the weakest of them all, even though she had her resurrection powers. I just didn't ever see her being the Supreme.
And, you know what, her power was resurgence. It was outright, straight-up resurrection, where the one they have to perform for the Seven Wonders is transfer of life energy.
Yeah.
So it's something completely different. Like, it seemed, because, Misty performing her resurgence seemed to take no toll on her at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, that seems like something way better. But
so what was the one that Madison failed at? Poor Madison.
Divination.
Divination.
She passed everything. She would have passed pyrokinesis, and we don't know if she would have passed, the Vitalum, or whatever it was. But she failed miserably at divination. Like, you could just tell on her face, she's like, I have no idea how to do this.
She, the life force thing, she had already.
Yeah, she proved it on the fly.
Yeah.
So she did pass that, and we knew she could pass pyrokinesis. So she was 6 out of 7. That makes her extremely talented.
Yeah. So my guess was not far off.
No, your guess wasn't far off.
I think that Zoe could have kept up as well, if she didn't fuck herself on transmutation.
Yeah, who knows where Zoe would have failed, if at all. She probably would have failed somewhere, just don't know where.
Probably at divination.
Either divination or pyrokinesis.
No, because
pyrokinesis seemed like the easiest of all of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she would have done just fine at pyrokinesis.
Who knows? It would have been either divination, transferring life force, or setting shit on fire. So
it wasn't not transferring life force, because she had done that to that one guy, that homeless guy in Florida.
You're right. So she doesn't fail at that. So it would have been probably either divination or setting shit on fire.
Yeah, I could see that. when they were performing Concilium after Zoe and Madison had the fight over Kyle, Cordelia tossed Kyle across the room with telekinesis. Was that your guys' first hint that she was going to be the Supreme?
That was my first look at Mike going, "You're so fucking wrong." I didn't say it, but he knew what I meant by my look.
But here's the thing. This morning, let me give you my day, and I'll tell you why my day sucked. Woke up this morning, got the kiddo ready for school, the both of us, sent her off. After that, I went to the store to get us breakfast from Dunkin' Donuts. While I'm sitting in the line for the drive-thru, I'm like, let me listen to some music. I turn on one of the morning shows, and they're interviewing Sarah Paulson, who plays Cordelia. And, he asked, so your character, even though the season, if it was going into another season, you're the big boss. You're the Supreme. What would that mean? I was like, fuck you! Like, I flipped. I screamed audibly at my radio. People were looking at me like, what's going on? I lost my shit. And at that moment, I realized, oh, God, I spent like 3 episodes of this podcast campaigning that Cordelia could never be the Supreme. Tonight's gonna suck. And it was like a dark cloud appeared over my head and followed me for the rest of the day. I got home, I told her, I'm like, honey, I am in a really shitty mood because they just spoiled the major part of the ending to Horror Story on the radio. They were interviewing the actress who is the new Supreme. I didn't give away any spoilers, but right. I was pissed. So then
what was her reaction to this?
She was like, oh, that sucks. Like,
because of that reaction, I knew as soon as she threw frickin' Kyle into the wall, that's who the Supreme was. That was the hint, and I turned around, I looked at him, and I'm like, you're so fucking dead tonight.
Oh my god.
But yeah, she was like, she wasn't, sarcastic, and she was like, oh, that really sucks, because, it was a spoiler on the radio, and I was excited to see it. So, I mean, that would really be like
watching
suck.
Our Originals podcast and having the Supreme spoiled for you if you hadn't seen it yet.
Sorry.
Someone else's fault.
I wanted to make a point, and that it seemed to fit so well, but I totally forgot about the spoiling part.
All right, I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit that part out of Our Originals podcast. So
okay.
This conversation that we're having right here is not going to make sense to anybody because it never happened.
Exactly. Right. But yeah, so I had a crappy morning, but had I not had that utterly spoiled for me, and had my camera not frozen with me in this position, facing this way, anyway, that would have been a hint, because when the hell could Cordelia do that?
Yeah, I mean, we had been criticizing Cordelia this whole season, that we're like, what kind of powers does she possess? She's an alchemist. Ooh, alchemist. Ooh. She could mix potions and plants and crush things. Then she got her second sight, and we're like, oh, well.
That's pretty decent.
So she's got this hidden power or whatever, but it's only when her eyes are missing. And didn't really seem like anything, and I think that's what drew me and Umi to the misdirection in the first place, is why we were so adamant about Cordelia in the first place. Granted, yes, I was campaigning for Madison, but I knew that was a pipe dream. You guys all knew I wasn't 100% serious with my guess as Madison being the Supreme. It was like 2-3 episodes before that, when we were actually talking about Cordelia. That's when it sat in my mind that it was either going to be Cordelia or something to do with Nan coming back. And I was kind of disappointed we didn't see Nan at all.
Yeah. All we saw Nan was, it looked like Queenie was practicing divination or something, or trying to contact Nan's spirit or something.
Yeah.
I felt bad because it seemed like, that was Queenie's only real friend.
Yeah, I would have liked
in her life.
I would have liked to see Nan with I forget his name, the Christian boy next door. I would have liked to see their ghosts, like, in the academy, like, just standing somewhere watching over everything that happened or whatever. Like, just a little nod to them would have been nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We had already talked about, like, all the girls' personal house, but we forgot to mention Zoe. Zoe's was kind of childish, wasn't it?
Kyle broke up with me over and over again. It seemed like so high school drama.
Yeah.
It really
Like
did.
that's
Yeah.
hell for you, seriously?
I mean, Madison's was awful.
Oh, well, okay. Madison's was another fight. Like she was, whatever the character on a TV musical,
She wasn't the leading role, which is what she was trying to get at.
It's Gone with the
Yeah,
Wind.
she was. No, it was. Really.
It was Sound of Music.
Oh,
Sound
Sound
of
of Music.
Music.
And
So-
the name started with an
too
N.
confused.
I can't remember.
I thought it was like
That's-
Lyle or something. I don't know.
I feel so bad for her though. Like, can you
But yeah,
imagine that?
her that and my boyfriend just broke up with me in a loop. Your lives are that great that that's your personal hell. Like that is the only thing that worries you in your life or would torture you.
It's torturing me for Madison.
It's like when I watch American Idol and they're doing the audition parts of the series, and I can't watch it because I'm embarrassed for those people. So I don't watch it.
So you weren't a William Hung fan?
No.
Shebangs. You're
He
welcome.
was even worse after he got singing lessons, by the way.
I know.
But so was it a shock for you guys that this little lighthearted game of tag turned into like this violent death for Zoe?
It reminded me of splinching from Harry Potter. When they like apparated or teleported, they had to do it perfectly. Otherwise, if they screwed up, part of their bodies would wind up fused with other objects or missing, or chunks of them would be ripped out or stuff like that. So that's kind of the effect I got from that.
I don't know. I mean, she seemed to be moving like on a direct, straight path, through the yard, through the house. How she ended up on top of that gate kind of baffles me. Did like Madison in the middle of the transmutation spurt go, "Hiya!" and throw her up there? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know how she got up there. She just seemed like she was going straight, and then all of a sudden she's up on top of the gate. I don't know.
Yeah, it probably would have been better if they impaled her through the middle of the fence as opposed to flying up above it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have made more sense.
I don't know. You
Or,
knew just the way that scene was playing out. You knew something bad was going to happen.
Or like she appeared on the fence and her momentum like ripped part of her out or something like that. I don't know. Maybe even that. But just appearing up there like she appeared above it and got impaled.
There was a
work
very
for me.
similar thing on the TV show Fringe where they had somebody who was able to like do something with molecules, like move molecules really fast, and they were able to pass through objects, and something happened when they were passing through and the molecules re-solidified when they were like partially through, and like they lost limbs and stuff because of it. And it was very, very similar to that for me.
Okay.
It seemed like some foul work was at play there. So
Yeah, but it's...
if it was Madison, all I have to say to that is I give Madison a big thumbs up.
That thumb. Obnoxious.
It's huge.
I don't know. Because they didn't really explain it too much. Transmutation, I mean, I've always taken that from all fantasy stuff as transferring one object into another type of object, like alchemy.
Yes, like copper into gold, things like that.
Yeah,
But
what they were describing has always been what has always been known to me as translocation.
yes,
So that would have made more sense, but we don't know what the physics are behind it. Is it like blinking? Are they traversing through a subdimension? Do they need to understand quantum mechanics and quantum entanglement to do this? How does it work? We don't know. So for all we know, Madison could have thrown her up there, or Zoe just got too giddy and didn't concentrate, and instead of going that way, she went that way.
we don't know.
It's possible.
We really don't know.
I am
It
going
seemed
to point
like-
out something, though, before we continue on with the rest of the topics tonight. I'm going to point out something that I was wrong about. I don't do this often, because I'm never wrong. But
Go on.
this one situation I was wrong. I called for Mike is like right up in the camera. He's like, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you what I was wrong on. You know what?
Oh, God. Come on, tell me. I'm just goofing with you.
I fully 100% expected the witch hunters in this episode.
You know what? I agree with you. I expected
Yeah.
some form of them showing up.
Yeah.
Even if it was in the
Especially-
end.
Especially when Cordelia came out to the public about witches, and they were talking about them, and they were saying
Yes.
exactly where they were, and having all the kids. I was expecting witch hunters to show up and wipe everybody out.
And you know what,
Yeah.
Dom? I can't even. I'm right there with you. I
was
was right. I was
so
with you
shocked.
100%.
I agreed. I agreed that we hadn't seen the last of the witch hunters. That little bit of that we seen of the witch hunters was only part of the corporation of witch hunters.
It was a witch hunters that made a big corporation. What
Yeah.
if there are other groups of witch hunters not affiliated with that corporation out there?
Right.
Exactly. It was the last. I didn't think it was the last.
No.
Yeah.
I honestly thought there was way more than that, but
See, I know Umi was bringing to my attention some reviews and stuff about this season, and people were kind of criticizing the season, saying it was the worst season. I wouldn't go that far.
no.
It wasn't their best season, but to me, it seemed like they had too many storylines that were not completely resolved or rushed.
Yeah.
That was the thing. It started out good, started out great, but then I think they went in too many divergent paths. Like, say they went in 8 directions, they should have stuck it to like 4 or 5.
Right.
Yeah.
So, there was just too much, and then I think at the end they wound up rushing it to close it.
Right, because like this episode, we didn't see anything from Marie. We didn't.
Well,
see...
Marie, yeah, she was in hell as of last episode.
Right. We
And
didn't
same
see
with Delphine.
Yeah, we didn't see anything from Delphine. Like they kind of resolved their story last episode, but for those characters that have been such a prominent part of this season, not to have them in the finale at all seemed a little cheap.
And the way I was not happy with the way they killed off Fiona. For a character, she was like the big baddie of the whole season, really.
I liked the way they killed off Fiona, actually.
I prefer that way as well.
I thought they
Because-
needed to be a bit more to it, but
Like what?
She,
I mean,
she had been fighting
play-
all this time
Yeah.
to live, and the cancer was the only thing that was
Exactly.
really getting to her, that was coming for her, that she couldn't escape from, and it's what did her in the end. It was,
What you wanted Cordelia to stab her own mother to end her misery.
I don't know. I mean,
You wanted a big bang.
I
To
can't.
me- To
I
me,
can't
cancer
explain
is a big bang.
You're right. Okay, I can't explain it. You know, they could have done it a lot worse, but there's just something intangible I can't describe that just I'm not satisfied for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, sure, it was a good way to end it. Could it have been better? Probably. Could it have been worse? Oh fuck yeah, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. So, I don't know.
No, I think Cordelia summed it up when she was talking to Fiona in the end that, you deserve to die like this.
Yeah.
You horrible, horrible bitch, you.
Yeah. She went out slow and painful,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of what she deserved. She didn't deserve a quick death.
Yep.
As for people dying, felt bad for Misty just disintegrating into nothing.
It was quick.
Yeah.
It was quick, but now she's stuck in that endless loop of hell of hers. I mean, who knows? She probably would not. Maybe she wouldn't have gone to hell when she died. Maybe she would have went to the nicer place. But unfortunately, yeah. And then who else died? Madison. That line by Kyle.
Madison, she was choked to death by Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that very fitting. That was if Madison had any way to go out, it was like a Dr. Frankenstein kind of thing. Frankenstein kills his creator.
Mm-hmm.
It was very Frankenstein-esque, and it was kind of fitting for her.
I
What?
thought that was a fitting way. And just the way she's like crying, like, I did it for you. I love you. And then he's just like, you're not that good an actress.
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious because
That was
I'm like,
the
what if
perfect
he's
one-liner.
actually talking about her as an actress in real life, and then it kind of just, it leaks over into the show as well, because I thought that was quite funny.
Here's a fun
was like-
fact that I'm pretty sure you guys didn't know. They are dating in real life.
Yes, I found that
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're engaged.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting, because who hasn't wanted to choke their significant other at one point or another?
I know, right? Apparently, she got arrested last. I was reading this whole thing. She got arrested last year for beating the hell out of, for like punching him in the face and biting him multiple times in an argument.
Perfect.
And they were gay. What? Okay.
I don't. The thing I was going to say, it was just Kyle's one-liner. It's like that stereotypical end of the action movie one-liner, like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon 2 springs to mind. Guys like diplomatic immunity. He's like, it's just been revoked. Bang. Like, that was that epic ending one-liner for me.
Yeah.
Like, you're not that good an actress.
I don't know. Since I've been watching a lot of animes, one-liners don't really have any, you know.
I don't. I guess I appreciate a good one-liner before something, big like that happens.
If you've watched enough Naruto and Bleach and all those kinds of animes,
they're
one-liners,
they're not good.
They're not good one-liners, exactly. So they kind of desensitize all the other ones, so you actually have to think about what was happening. That's why I connected it to real life and the show, and I was like, aha, perfect. Good one-liner.
See, all those anime ones just make me appreciate the good ones more.
I could see it both ways. Queenie got knocked out of the running when she failed to resurrect Zoe. Madison also refused... Well, didn't... No, I should say also. Madison just straight up refused to resurrect Zoe, and as we mentioned, she resurrected the fly that was buzzing around the room instead, just to prove that she could do it, to stay in the running. But it was pretty much at that point when Myrtle pulled Cordelia aside and was like, you should do the 7 Wonders.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the moment when I knew for sure. I was like, as soon as I heard that suggestion, I was like...
That was the nail in the coffin.
Myrtle has known forever. It's just, Cordelia's bullshit mother kept her down, and she didn't realize her potential.
And if you listen to the speech Fiona gave her, Fiona knew from the moment she was born. She said, the second you were born, basically, I knew that in order for you to truly live, I would have to die. That was kind of like an admission, like I knew all along.
Yeah, and that would kind of explain why they've had such a troubled relationship.
Because Fiona knew all along that her daughter would wind up being the death of her one day.
Yep.
So, as wrong as I was, I'm happy that Cordelia is the Supreme. I mean, for all the shit she endured this season, she deserves a happy ending. So
Cordelia...
I'm happy I was wrong.
Cordelia, I'm happy it wasn't Zoe. As I
Yes.
said, I'd be happy with
I can...
Kyle over Zoe.
And see, when we asked about predictions about our Supreme, I said Kyle because I couldn't say Cordelia because it would have started another fucking fight. And I didn't want another one.
See, I was trying to fight. That's why I was picking Madison.
Anyway, I went with Zoe, not because I wanted her to be the Supreme, but because it was just the obvious choice for me for some reason.
With Madison and the whole, campaign for Madison, didn't matter if we told you were wrong. Even now you're like, she's still the Supreme. She's still the Supreme.
She's my Supreme.
Look at his background.
She's my Supreme.
You're a stubborn ass, and Madison's always the Supreme to you, so there's no use in fighting.
Mm-hmm. She's the Supreme of my heart. So Cordelia ends up being the one to resurrect Zoe. She heals her own eyes, and if you guys happen to see any of the early screenshots from this episode that they released the photos for or whatever, you clearly saw that Cordelia had her eyes healed, and that even more going into this episode. I was like, that just reeks of Supreme right there. Like, she restored her eyesight, and that's like powers beyond anything that...
And you notice all the flowers blooming around her in the greenhouse as they spun it around.
Yeah. So, that was definitely, I don't even... We called it. We called it. That's all I can say is Mike was wrong.
I know. I admit it. Like I said, I will take it.
And that's why he was so pissed off when he came home with breakfast this morning, because he knew he was wrong and he was.
I don't think he was pissed off that it was spoiled for him. I think he was pissed off that he was wrong.
I was just gonna say he came home and he realized I'm wrong. I'm gonna get my shit packed back in.
I wasn't. That didn't piss me off. Initially, I was like, "Fuck, I am gonna totally get it when I get it tonight." But then I thought to myself, you know what? I'll take it. You know what? I was wrong. I made the prediction. I was wrong. What am I going to do? I'll just be a man and own up to it. But I was truly pissed off that I got a spoiler at like 8:30 in the fucking morning on a radio show. Like some people, half the people listening to your show who watch this show probably didn't see it yet.
You watch a radio show?
No, who are watching American Horror Story haven't seen the finale yet, and you just spoiled the ending for most people. I'm amazed that they didn't get any more.
Mike, you have a face for radio.
I know I have a face for radio. I did radio for a year in college. Hey, it was the most listened to show on our entire radio network. We had 7 listeners, which was better than the next, which was 4 listeners.
Impressive.
Yeah.
That's not impressive for living where he lives.
Their listeners, it was an internet streamed radio only. They stopped they used to broadcast on an AM station, but they stopped doing that like a few years before I got there. And it was better because you didn't have to abide by the FCC's rules anymore.
Okay.
Just if you slipped and dropped an F-bomb, you weren't getting fined.
Then you get burned at the stake.
Pretty much. Speaking of which, Myrtle.
And
she wanted it.
Yeah.
It was justice.
She went through a second time now.
What the hell did she scream before she died?
I didn't catch that. Was it...
Looking it up.
I forget. I remember it. It began with a B.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now. But keep talking while I'm doing this.
No.
I don't know.
All right, I don't know.
Yeah.
But about it, like, she wanted it. It was justice, I guess, in her mind, because she did brutally murder the other council members.
She didn't want Cordelia to seem corrupt and tainted because of Myrtle and her past, Everybody knows what Myrtle did, except for, everybody that's in the Coven right now. And it's going to get out. I mean, one of those witches has to have some kind of mind reading or some kind of some sort of like reading so that they can figure out what's going on in everybody else's head, and they're gonna find out, and it's gonna get out. So Myrtle was like, I don't want to hang around because you're just gonna get in shit for having me a witch that has committed crimes against other witches. So burn me.
Oh, that makes sense. Myrtle was into fashion and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. Like fashion trends. She yelled out Balenciaga, which is a big fashion company. It's a French fashion house.
Is it the one where she gets her shoes and hair?
Probably is where she gets them from. It's big in New York. It's from this, it looks like it's 6th Avenue or Broadway.
We'll have to go there one day and ask if we can get shoes and hair.
Just say your friend Myrtle sent you.
Yeah.
No.
So we kind of ended this season with a line of witches stretching around the block and beyond of the Coven.
Yeah.
All potential witches. And Cordelia, Zoe, and Queenie are sitting there, and they go, "What are we going to do?" Cordelia's like, "We'll buy more houses if we have to." And then she appointed Zoe and Queenie as her council. Brand new council. You think that was a good choice? I mean, there's not anybody else left. But
nobody really else. Yeah, I mean...
But do you still think, even if there were everybody else left, do you think they would have been the best choice for the council?
Out of the group of girls that were left, yes. Madison definitely couldn't have been anybody on the council. There's no way.
Why?
Because she's a lot like Fiona. And Fiona was the worst Supreme for years and years and years and years. Um.
You watch what you say about my future ex-girlfriend.
Uh-huh. She can go die. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. About that.
She can come back.
No.
They'll res her.
Yeah. I mean, and Misty was just too ditzy. She was just too naive and innocent as a person. She seemed like she was a 8-year-old running around in a 23-year-old person's body.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, she was isolated for a while, so that's understandable.
Lived in a swamp.
Yeah. Kyle seems to have taken the role of the new Spalding.
Yeah, she's the new butler.
So
She's the new
butler.
He's the new butler. Shut up.
Okay.
He not only is he wrong about the Supreme, he's wrong about Kyle's gender.
Hey, who knows? Oh yeah, they reattached parts.
He seems to have a connection with Spalding, so Spalding's probably like, coaching him on how to be a good butler.
Yeah. Speaking of Spalding.
So you put the dolls here.
Speaking of Spalding, how much do you want to bet that Madison is his new living doll?
She said something about burying her.
No, they buried the body.
Yeah, well, he had to get somebody to do it because he couldn't do it himself, so he got Kyle to bury the body.
I think that's what he said they did. What they said he did and what he actually did could be two completely different things. He was in Madison's trunk once before.
You mean Madison was in the trunk before?
Yes.
Yeah, but like I said, he still can't physically move something like that, like a person.
Why?
I mean, we've seen him push people, we've seen him move objects, but I don't think he can actually carry a dead body up back to his trunk. He needed Kyle's help, and Kyle wasn't gonna take Madison up to his crazy attic.
I don't know. I think if I had to make a bet, I would say Madison is up there.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. Spalding needed help. Kyle was his help.
Whatever
and
happened
Kyle
to the
wasn't
baby?
good. Who knows?
Good question. That's a open plot hole thing.
Never saw the baby again. Spalding had it last we saw.
Wow. The baby. I totally forgot about the baby.
He was...
What?
Yeah. He was holding the baby. So if he can carry a baby, I'm pretty sure he can move Madison.
So, in that case, if... Alright, so the babies... We have no idea. So now, does that mean Madison's in hell? Is she stuck on the set of The Sound of Music as the not leading role?
No, I think she's stuck in Spalding's room watching
tea parties.
Well, she wasn't around the first time she died, so she probably just passed on like she did the first time.
Nan.
No, Nan was taken by Papa.
And he had stated, I have plans for you on the other side. I don't think Nan's in her own hell. She's somewhere much nicer.
Yeah,
Maybe.
She's probably doing good work.
What did you think about Cordelia's? I mean, not Cordelia. Fiona's hell.
Fiona's hell is the Axeman's heaven. That's was kind of crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. She doesn't
Maybe you should lay off drinking. Hey, if you want a stiff one, I got you right here.
Oh God, I rolled my eyes.
Oh my God, she was like, oh God, it caused her physical pain, that line.
Yeah.
Yep. That was just, oh my God. That's...
This episode.
I was kind of upset that the vision that Cordelia saw didn't take place. I would have liked to see that happen regardless.
The vision of all of them dead?
Yeah, I would have liked to see that played out.
Hey, maybe that's the vision of what happens in a month after the end of the finale here.
Misty was there and Madison was there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know. Guess it's a shame.
Yeah. I don't know. So, this is our first season finale that we've covered.
Wait,
What?
wait,
What?
I was right about something else. The whole Fiona planting the vision into the Axeman.
Yeah,
So that's
Yeah.
what Cordy saw. I was so right about that.
Goat's blood.
I
Yes.
supported you on that one, and you were right. Goat's blood. I didn't think goat's blood, but
No, I didn't either. But
I didn't guess whose blood it was. So
yeah.
I was totally with you on that one, and good job, hon.
Yeah, so this is the first season finale we've had to cover since we started doing these podcasts.
Yeah, you're right.
So, what'd you think of our first season finale? Like, now looking back at the whole season.
Looking back at the whole season, a couple of loose ends they could have tied up, but you know what? I'm not overly displeased.
no, I mean, I really like this season over the second season. I really didn't like the Asylum.
This season started off great,
Mm-hmm.
kind of tapered off towards the end, but it was never bad for me.
Yeah.
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 So
The end didn't seem as climactic as some of previous seasons. Like, even season 2 had a better ending, I think, than this
Yes,
season.
in comparison, yes, it did. But
Yeah.
it did. I mean, the season stayed way over the top. Second season was below average. This season was above average and kind of like went down to average and stayed there. Whereas the second season went up to average. But
I don't know what they could have done differently, but if, it would have clearly been one of the best shows on television this year if it would have held the, power it had at the beginning of the season.
I think if they were to pull off a double episode finale, a 2-hour finale or something,
yes,
they probably would have had a lot of more time to answer questions that loose ends and stuff that we had. But at the same time, I'm kind of happy where it ended. My biggest gripe from day one, every time American Horror Story starts, since the first season, because I knew what to look for, I pay very close attention to the title card opening sequence. And they never explained the demon creature.
Yeah. What was the deal with that thing?
I don't know. That's the one thing to this day that is still bothering me. Is you saw that little demon hunched over with the wings standing in the forest, and we never got an explanation whatsoever on that.
maybe it's just the symbolism of witches and how people perceive them, being like cultists and Satan worshippers and things like that. And, hell being connected with demons, it just, it just seems like it's symbolism.
Seeing the thing show up in one of their own personal hells. Like,
it would have been.
It was never even shown.
Even if they were like flipping through a book and they saw the demon on a page and like, oh, well, this is this. And, that doesn't really mean anything to us, but hey, that's what that is. Even that little bit of a connection would have made more sense than just leaving it open.
It was the fact that it wasn't so much that, like, because they flash pictures and stuff too on there. And I can understand if a certain picture doesn't show up. But this was an actual creature that they showed in the woods alive. They took the time to animate it, to computer generate whatever they did, and then never used it, and it just really bothered me.
It would have been great, like this last episode. Misty fails, she gets her soul trapped in hell, but one of those things takes her place. Uses her body at that point, but there would have been a way to fit it in right there.
I would have just liked to see it show up in their personal hells, just in the background watching them or something. Like, just that's all. They didn't even have to explain what it was.
I loved Papa Legba. Well, it just in the side of the house watching Fiona with a big shit-eating grin on his face, like.
Yeah, something that I believe you pointed out after one of the shows ended was Papa Legba is actually, I forget the actor's name, but he played Broyles in Fringe, and he was in Alias. He was in, I believe he was in Lost.
Yes.
He's been in a lot of shows.
Lost. Yeah.
And did not recognize him at
Did
all.
not recognize him at all, yeah. The makeup was so well done, you could not tell who he was unless you really, really looked. You knew who exactly he was. You could tell just from this part right here.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I believe there was another character, Spalding.
Spalding. He actually played Russell Edgington from True Blood.
And wow.
Yeah, that was amazing. I didn't even until Mike pointed it out today. I saw the picture and I was like, "Oh my god, how could I not have known?" They did such a great job just changing the actors to fit the characters so well.
Yeah, I mean,
And
even look at Fiona when she was withering away to nothing. Like she almost didn't even look like Jessica Lange.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And you know what happened? The whole reason I put that together is I'm like, Spalding played by so-and-so, and it shows a picture of him. I go, is that Russell? No. So then I find his, Wikipedia page and all that stuff. I'm like, holy shit. Because that was one of my favorite characters from True Blood still to this day.
That and Lafayette, yeah, they're both of those are really great characters.
Great characters, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess that about wraps things up here. We don't really know what next season is. There's been some flyers and videos and posters and stuff going around for American Horror Story Circus, American Horror Story Carnival. Those are the two that have been floating around. It's neither of those.
No, they're both rumors.
Yes. 100% rumor.
I think the only reliable information that's been kind of leaked about the next season is that it's mainly based in the 1950s and it has kind of a German-esque feel to it.
We don't know for sure if it has a German-esque feel. All we know is Jessica Lange's character is going to have a German accent. That's all we know.
That's why I say German-esque.
Yeah.
I could say ish.
It could be somebody from Germany in the U.S. in the 1950s. It doesn't necessarily have to be German-esque. If I had to take a guess, I think it's going to have something to do with a horror movie that they're filming. I think she's going to play an actress. That's my stab in the dark guess. She's going to be a film actress rather. 1950s is kind of around the time of the big movie boom. So if they start filming like a horror movie or something like that, there's a lot of room for things to happen on set, and it'd be very interesting. So, you guys have any predictions about 1950s? What we might be seeing?
I have no idea.
1950. Okay, the 1950s was a decade that began on January 1st, 1950. Duh, and ended on December 31st, 1959. By its end, the world had largely recovered from World War II, and the Cold World had developed from its modest beginning. So there is that.
Yeah, we had Asylum, correct me if I'm wrong, was set in the 1960s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, that kind of had a little bit of a war vibe to it because of the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
He was Nazi.
What if we see a younger version of him come back?
That'd be interesting.
Cool. I have a friend.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to be there.
She's cold, though. Also, his name is Lance Reddick, is the guy who played...
Lance Reddick, yes.
Lance Reddick, yeah. Who played Papa Legba.
Yes.
Amazing makeup job.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was the other thing? There was a theme of communism coming up for this as well.
Communism.
Ooh, sorry, sweetie.
That's the rumors going around. We don't know for sure.
Not for sure.
Only thing we know for sure, 100%, is Jessica Lange will be returning. This will be her final season with American Horror Story. And she'll have a German accent.
I mean, they haven't said like season 6 or season 7, so maybe she's coming back for season 6.
I believe I read an interview with her that said she is done after this. That she wants
that's
this to be her
sad.
last season. She said she's been with them for 4 years now. She said 4 years is pretty much long enough for her in anything. She wants to go back to doing some play work and stuff before she retires indefinitely. But
Oh, that's sad.
yeah. But at the same time, I can understand it. You want to end on your passion. Your passion may not be for film directly, maybe acting for, the way you started coming in for theater or whatever. So I kind of respect that. Go out on a
She's
high
been
note.
acting. I looked her up today. She's been acting a long ass time.
She has.
And then it's like, oh, she's won multiple awards. So I click, and they don't even tell you on her Wikipedia page. There's an entire separate entry that's longer than her main fucking page for all the awards she's won.
Yeah, she's a great actress. But on the same hand, I'm kind of glad she's stepping out.
I
She's
guess.
been in there since season 1. She's pretty much played the main character, so to speak, through these past 3 seasons, and it looks like even into the 4th. So it'd be nice to see somebody else take the role of lead character, so to speak. I think she's kind of played the same character almost to a degree. She's been like the bitchy lady that does whatever she wants in all the seasons, except for the 2nd season where that's how she started off, and then that was taken away from her. And so she's kind of played every peak of that level of character, so there's really not much more for her to do as an actress within the Horror Story franchise other than playing a bit part, and I don't see her agreeing to that. So
Well, I mean, it's unfortunate that Zachary Quinto can't come back, but I mean, you never know. He might pull something out of his hat.
yeah. I think the reason why he was involved with the last Star Trek movie when this was starting, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he was in season 1 and 2, so who knows? Maybe we'll see him for 4. We don't know.
Don't know.
We don't know.
He was one of those crazy, unique actors that just added a little bit of flair to what was going on, so...
Yep, we don't know if Kyle's coming back. We don't know if Zoe's coming. We don't know if any of the... Well, not those characters, but I can't think of the actors and actors that play them. I just got used to calling him Kyle. I don't even remember what the hell his name was in season 2. And now I just blanked out on what his name was from season 1. Tate. And
Tate.
all through season 2 I kept calling him Tate. And
yeah.
I don't even think I ever knew his character from season 2, just because I always just changed it to Tate every time I saw it, whatever. And for whatever reason, maybe it was this podcast, because I actually had to start calling him the correct name. But he's now Kyle to me. So I don't know.
Let's see. Can't find it. I'm horrible at this shit, but yeah. I'll find it. Just give me a second. Keep talking. Go ahead.
You guys have anything else for this episode? This series, this season, this finale?
No.
Nope.
Mike's off in La La Land.
No,
No.
I'm not off in La La Land. I'm thinking. I got nothing.
No, I really don't know. I'm hoping that they'll do something really, really interesting for the next season. I like their uniqueness of being different every season, keeping kind of the same cast of actors, actresses, but changing up the story a lot.
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters is the actor. Yes.
Yes.
We were trying to decipher the character name in season 2.
Oh, yeah.
I could find that right now really quick. I have all the...
Kit Walker.
There you go. Kit Walker.
Kit
Kit
Ah,
Walker.
Kit.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, so maybe Evan Peters will come back. Maybe we'll see Tasia
Sarah Paulson.
Farminga.
Farminga.
Yeah.
Zoe.
Zoe.
I know a lot of people are asking for Kathy Bates to come back, but I don't see that happening. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The same way what's his name? Dylan McDermott. I don't think we're gonna be seeing him come back either because he was
good too.
He was really good, but he's doing that other TV show Hostages right now.
Right.
I only watched the pilot for that, and it was really good. I have to go back and finish that. I'm not sure if it's being renewed or not, but I guess that really depends on where it's going. I think he was kind of done with it after the second season. He loved the role he played in the second season. He personally requested that role. But I think he's kind of had enough with it. Yeah, I would love to see Emma Roberts come back, aka Madison. So
I don't know. I don't see her coming back.
why not? If she's dating Evan Peters, and Evan's been in every season since, there's a high possibility that they're gonna ask her back.
I don't know.
She played a really awesome role in this.
She did.
So I don't see them not asking her back. It's more of whether or not she's going to want to.
I think that's where I'm kind of at. I think she liked doing this, but one season would seem to be enough for now anyways. Maybe we might see her again in the 6th. But who knows? Maybe this might open some doors for her to get into like movie acting and things like that. Maybe. We don't know.
Maybe. Sarah Paulson, Cordelia, do you think she'll be back next season?
I could see her playing a 1950s role, definitely, just by the way her mannerisms and just her overall look. She just seems like she could play an old-timey role like that.
And she's a versatile actress, so I mean, I would like to see her back.
Yeah. Frances Conroy, aka Myrtle. Do you think we'll see her?
I don't know.
She's been in every season.
She has.
Maybe we will see her.
Maybe she's kind of on the same. She's kind of on the same road as Jessica. This will be.
Didn't she start off as a stage actress as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
But she hasn't really had major parts in all these. She played the maid, the true maid, what she really looked like in season 1 Murder House. She played the Angel of Death in
Angel of Death
Asylum,
yes.
and she played Myrtle, one of the witch councils in this one. Spalding, you think we'll see Spalding again? Dennis O'Hare?
It's possible. He might play a really tiny role. I mean, with him not being Russell anymore, because Russell is long gone in True Blood, there is definitely open doors as far as TV goes. I would be pretty. I don't know. I could see him coming back for something moderate to minuscule to moderate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have him listed on anything upcoming for TV.
No.
Now that I'm looking, so.
He's been on
Apparently he was also in last season. He was in Murder House.
He was
first season, Murder House.
Yeah, he was in 1st and 3rd.
Yeah, I don't remember. Larry Harvey? Oh, he was the guy that was in love with Jessica Lange's character in season 1.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Got it. So you said no to Kathy Bates, aka Delphine.
I would like to see her, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't expect her to be back.
And what about
another great actress?
What about Gabourey, aka Queenie?
I don't know. She seems like she's another one-timer.
Yeah, but we kind of thought the same thing about Nan, Jamie Brewer, and she was in season 1. She was in Murder House, wasn't she? Yeah.
Yes. She was. But I mean, I from Murder House to now, I mean, we didn't see her in Asylum.
No.
But in Murder House, she played a Downs kid, and I just thought that now I see her in Coven, and I'm like, wow, she's such a great actor. Why did she play that character in Murder House? It just seemed really typical.
Yeah. Who else do we have? Danny Houston, X-Men. You think we'll see him again? I think he was good.
Yeah,
he's a good actor. I like him.
Who
knows?
We just don't know what the next season is what we're expecting, so we don't know where we can have characters fit. Like what actors
find
fit
a part
what characters.
for almost anything.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we don't know.
Angela Bassett, aka Marie.
I don't know. That's another tough call.
Yeah.
She was a perfect fit for, a voodoo queen.
She was.
Yeah, she was.
I'm looking down here. I'm still thinking Zachary Quinto would be awesome.
He would.
Yeah.
Probably my last person on this list, Josh Hamilton, aka Hank. You think we'll see him next season?
Maybe. I mean, a lot of these are maybes.
Yeah, there's a lot of maybes in that list.
I mean, this is his first season with American Horror Story, so.
He's on Elementary?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is he at a main role, or is he... Oh, no, he was just...
No, he was a one-off character.
Seems to be, looking at all of his TV things, he's a one-off character in pretty much everything, almost.
Yeah. Just about. He had his longest TV role was right here with American Horror Story Coven for 7 episodes. And just following that, he was on Third Watch. He played a doctor. He was on there for 6 episodes. So.
Okay.
So, who knows?
Lots to speculate within the next year or so?
Yeah, we won't be seeing this until next October.
Jeez.
So.
Curious.
Yep.
I would have loved a circus, by the way. Circus, carnival, whatever. Some of those
promos
were awesome. Great job, whoever did those.
Yeah, that would have been very interesting.
And someone was saying, like, oh, God, I'm afraid of clowns enough as it is. And I thought to myself, oh, God, not scary clowns.
Would have been awesome.
I don't need clowns.
See, this is where we've been watching a lot of Bones recently, and the character Booth.
Fear of clowns.
He says he doesn't have the fear of clowns. He just really hates clowns. And I'm kind of on that boat where I just really hate clowns.
I know what your favorite clown is.
What's that?
Boppo.
Oh, yeah.
Boppo the clown.
I like him as much as I like Reptar.
Hi, I'm Boppo. Mike, where can the people find you?
In bed very soon. They can find me on Twitter at Thilladren, THILLADREN.
Umi, where can the people find you and Boppo the Clown?
They can find me on Twitter as well at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom 24.
And you can find me on Twitter at Phenomedom, PHENOMEDOM. And you can find all of us in our no longer American Horror Story podcasts until next year at Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Google+, Gmail at or / ASOTV podcast. For other podcasts, for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next year.
Yeah, next year.
Been a pleasure.
See you guys later. I'm gonna cry now.
Phenomenon. Do 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 do.
Phenomena.
Do 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 do.
Phenomenon. What is he doing?
I don't know. Do 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 do.
Do do do.
Oh God, we're horrible.